Hey, what's up, family? Welcome to the Motivational Institute, where passion and purpose will always find you. My name is Stacy. I'm really excited to share some information with you today from a video that I watched from Joe Dispenza. Yes, some of you might be familiar with him. Phenomenal guy, and I want to share some takeaways. So you can see me from the waist up. You see I'm rocking my Black History Month AA, and I'm not feeling great today, but you probably can't tell. So that's all that matters. So I want you to write down a few things. I got some takeaways to share with you, and then I also want to share 10 highlights at the end. So you know me, grab your pen and paper and get ready to rock this out. I want you to be thinking of the choices that you make every single day. Like, go back and replay when you get up in the morning. What are some of your thoughts? What are some of your behaviors? What are some of your actions? What do those choices look like? And think about one thing that has been heavy on your heart where you're saying, I really have wanted to change this for so long. And maybe you tried before and you changed for a little bit and then you went back or whatever that is. But I want you to think about making a different choice. Making a different choice every day and getting ready to step out of what is comfortable and familiar into the unknown. And Joe Dispenza talks a lot about the unknown. He says that the body gets conditioned to what it has experienced. So whatever it is that we do throughout our day, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or at night, the body becomes programmed. And the body will continue to serve you in the same way every single time because it's been conditioned in that way. So let me ask you this question. Is your body influencing your mind? Or is your mind influencing your body? Now, don't feel bad if you're like, oh, I think my body is influencing my mind. I would say that's like 80 to 90% of most people. Most people, the body is telling you how to think and feel. I had a okay day today, like I was feeling good earlier, and then halfway through the day, it started going down, and I had to remind myself, like, body, you are not in control. I might be feeling something physically, but it doesn't mean that my thoughts have to be in alignment with what I'm feeling. So I had to work really hard today to change that. But I want you to be thinking about that. Because if your body is influencing your mind, it will continue to make the same choices. So it's going to be harder for you to change that behavior if the body is in control of everything. What feels right to you might just be what feels familiar. So some of us may think about our routine or our behaviors or whatever that is and be like, I don't see nothing wrong. I think it's good. I think it's right. And it might be wrong. It might need to change, but it's hard for us to change it because we're comfortable with it, because it's something that is familiar. Write this one down. Every thought creates a chemical reaction. Every single thought, even the thoughts that you're having right now, it changes the chemical state of your body. It absolutely does. Now that's research. You can look that up. When you decide to get excited about something, no matter what it is, it can be peanut butter and jelly, or it could be a check in the mail, whatever it is. When you get excited about something, the body starts to create chemicals. So it creates a hormone called dopamine. It also creates serotonin. Now remember, and I've said this before in other trainings, is the brain does not have eyes. It don't know what's going on out there in the streets. The brain is relying on you to tell it. The brain is relying on you to communicate what the outside environment is like, because it does not know the difference. That's so powerful. So think about what you want to experience. Like, what is one thing that you just, maybe you've been praying about it, meditating about, asking God, thinking about, whatever it is. Think about that one thing that you want so bad. Right? You got it? So your homework assignment is to write down what that thing is. So maybe it's abundance, maybe it's love, maybe it's companionship, maybe it's a healing, maybe it's connection, maybe it's peace, maybe it's a career or a job opportunity or a business venture. Whatever it is, write it down. And then ask yourself this question and continue to journal through this. What would it feel like to have that? What would it feel like? Right? What would an abundant person, and Joe Dispenza mentions this in that video, he said, what would an abundant person say or do? How would they act? How would they respond? What would a person in love say or do? What would they be thinking first thing in the morning or at the end of the night, right? What would someone who started a successful business or a successful career, how would they think and operate and behave? What kind of plans would they make? What would they be writing down? What would they be reading? Maybe this is something spiritual and you're like, I'm just trying to get my relationship right with God. What does that look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? What would you actually be doing? So I want you to experience it. Close your eyes, and Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot. He talks about mental rehearsal. Because it's just like, if any of you know anything about a computer, the computer is hardwired to perform in a certain way. And all you have to do is change the wiring, right? Or change the inputs or change the CPU or whatever that is, the operating system. And now you get a different type of a behavior. You get a different type of a device. And that's what we all are, operating systems. So we're going to install hardware. So remember, your hardware may be the abundance, it may be the relationship, it may be the career, it may be the healing, it may be spirituality, whatever that is. You are going to install that hardware in your body so that the brain doesn't know the difference between what is actually a reality and what is a thought or a vision or a feeling. Doesn't know the difference between the two. So the brain's like, oh, we did it. Oh, we have it. Oh, we got it. We've experienced it. Like, oh, okay. News to me. Thanks for telling me. So I want you to think about this too. And also write this one down. This is a good one. Conscious thoughts repeated long enough become unconscious thinking. Unconscious thinking. You've heard me say this before. A belief is a thought that we just keep thinking, right? It's just a continued thought. It's just a practice thought. It's just a thought that we think a lot. There are things that you believe right now that you didn't necessarily believe when you first heard it. You didn't necessarily line up with it then. But because you continue to experience it, maybe it was something you said, maybe it was something you felt, maybe it was something in your environment that influenced that or reinforced that belief, to eventually, after a while, you believe it too. It's actually easy for you, right? Repetition creates involuntary behaviors. It's easy. It's going to be easy for you. So think about this. Driving a car. I know most of you probably drive. When you got in the car today, or whenever you get in the car, you don't think, I wonder how many feet it is from the stop sign, or I wonder, who has the right of way on my right or my left, or I wonder how fast I'm going on this street. If you're driving down the same street every day, you know the speed limit. You know your car. You know your vehicle, right? Sometimes you get somewhere and you don't even realize how you got there. You don't even remember driving to work. People will say that all the time. I don't even remember because I'm on it's like autopilot. It's second nature. It's repetition. And it creates a behavior that is involuntary. You don't even think about it. So there's one thing I did not mention, and I want to kind of go back to just before I give you these 10 real quick, is when I said, when you decide to get excited about something, the brain produces that dopamine and doesn't know the difference between the two. I remember when I was growing up, and we was go to my dad's house on the weekends. We go to my dad's house on Friday. And I kid you not, for what? I don't know, Daddy. 15 years, 16 years, whatever it was, till we got in high school, start feeling ourselves. But and my dad knew that was gonna happen. He's like, pretty soon y'all ain't gonna want to come to Dad's house anymore. We like, Daddy, we gonna stay with you forever. We gonna want to come forever. We like, once y'all get a car and boyfriends and all this stuff, it's a wrap. Love you, Daddy. What I was saying was, every Friday they would take us somewhere. Him and Sharon, my dad's wife, and we would get so excited. But my dad wouldn't tell us where we were going. He never would. It was always a surprise. Always. But the funny thing about being a kid is like, you really didn't even care where you were going. You just knew you were going somewhere. So what you started to do, you started to get excited about something that you didn't know what to expect, and you started to create dopamine. You started to create serotonin. You started to experience it as if it actually was, even though it wasn't. And I love how the Bible says that, we should have the heart of a child. And I'm going to connect that back to this, because we should have the heart and mind of the child. It's okay to visualize. It's okay to dream. That's good. That's healthy. Look at kids. Kids didn't even need the external environment. You talk about changing the internal environment, regardless of what the external environment looks like. That's what kids do all day long. Look at them playing at the playground. They playing house. They playing doctor. They playing mansion. They playing all this stuff. And they're playing princess and prince and king and queen. They don't need no castle, right? It's right here. They're imagining. There are no limits in the imagination. And I know as adults, that's so hard for us. Because as we say, life gets to lifing, and we see the reality of things. And to us, anything outside of that just doesn't make sense. But remember, a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. You can change that. All right, let me hit you with these 10 real quick. Number 1, change or modify some part of your routine. I don't care what it is. It could be something as simple as an affirmation. Today, I wasn't feeling great, and then I said, okay, God, give me something. And he says, tell yourself this: God knows everything, and he can do anything. Because I was wondering I wasn't wondering, but I'm like, God, do you see what I'm experiencing, but you also see what I'm asking for, my desires, my heart. And he was like, I know everything, and I can do anything. Next, I said, okay, God, thank you. Number 2, just become aware of your thoughts. If it's too hard for you to change something and you feeling that push-pull and that resistance, step 1, recognize it. Step 1, become aware of it. Okay, number 3, overcome that old part of your personality. Remember I said we're all limited. We all have limitations and things like that. But we want to scratch anything that is not serving us and work beyond it. Number 4, embrace the unfamiliar and become willing to be uncomfortable. Yes? No, you need to wait. Embrace the unfamiliar and be willing. You see how I parent? I should write that down. Take a note. Get out of here. Embrace the unfamiliar and become willing to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. You already know that. Embrace it. And when you get those feelings of resistance, I want you to tell yourself, I'm becoming someone new. I'm becoming something new. And it's okay. Right? It's okay. Tell your body it's okay. Right? I know what's best for you. You don't. All right, number 5. Strive to feel so much wholeness that it's impossible to want anything. Ooh, I'm going to be meditating on that tonight. Big time. Wholeness, gratefulness, gratitude, appreciation. Yes, I could look at my situation and start complaining about what it is, or I can look in my environment and God, I want this. Yeah, God, I want a laundry room with a door that closes. And he's like, I'm gonna need you to feel whole with that. So, how can you become whole where you are right now? No matter what your situation is, no matter where you are or what's happening in your life, tell yourself, I have everything that I need right now. And if I don't have it in front of me, I have access to it. And if I don't have access to it, I have access to people who might have access to it. And I know I got access to God. So you have everything that you need. Again, that's a really important point. Number 6. To change your life is to change your energy. You must break the old habit of being yourself. Change your life, change your energy. Change your life, change your energy. Change your energy, change your life. Change your energy, change your life. You change your physical state and you can change your external state. Number 7, focus on what you believe is possible for you. What gives you the least amount of resistance? So maybe you're like, I really want abundance, but every time I think about abundance, I feel some resistance. Like I feel like maybe it's not going to happen, or I'm too old, or I don't have a good idea for how to get the business started. But you get all into all these thoughts, and that's okay. Maybe it's a relationship and you're like, these single streets, I know. Lord, I know. Okay, so what we're going to do is go general. So we're going to put that off to the side, not to say that we don't want it, but to say we're going to take the least resistant path and we're going to focus on something that can bring us this feeling of alignment easier. So maybe it's your health. I pray to God that your health is great, that it's strong. So maybe you can focus on that, and that makes you feel good, and that's easy, right? You can see God moving in that area because you don't have the resistance to it. Or maybe you do have a great relationship, or maybe your financial situation is good, right? Line up with the things that will be easy for you. There must be alignment between thoughts and feelings. So that's the reason why I'm emphasizing that, because we can think something, but if our feelings are in opposition to it, we cut ourselves off from it. So you want to focus on things where your thoughts and your feelings are in the same space, in the same lane. Okay, I got a couple more points and then I'm going to let my son eat, all right? Don't be calling Child Protective Services on me. Number 8, thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. Need I say more? No. The mind and the body must not be in opposition. Number 9, and this is a big one. I've already kind of hit on this, but you can alter your external environment by changing your internal environment. Tell yourself it's already done, and then go act like it. Tell yourself it's already done, and then walk it out. Tell yourself it's already done and make your body a believer of it. You have the power to do that. You absolutely do. That's what I'm meditating on tonight. And the last point here, if you are going to expect anything at all, first of all, expect something great to happen. You can tell yourself that every day. I expect something good to happen to me today. I know people don't like to hear that word deserve, like I deserve something good. Okay, well, we scratch that. I expect something good to happen to me every day. Expect it. If you are going to expect anything, expect the unexpected. Because guess what? We have our power and God has his power. And he's in control of how things happen and when things happen and who comes into your life and what business opportunities come and how much money comes tied with it. That's his business. how, as Les Brown would say, is none of our business. It's not. And remember, as a child, if you go into that, how children think and how they imagine things and how they play things out, they create it. They're not even worried about how it's going to happen. They get full of the feeling of it. Just get full of the feeling of whatever it is that you want. Alexa, stop.
Here is an NFL
Alexa, stop. Okay, that's my cue. All right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Again, Black History Month. I had to represent today. I hope that this information blessed you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And also check out the video, Joe Dispenza video. I'm going to put that in the description box. Love y'all.